win. He won't win. Today, we win, right? She could only nod to Kate. There was no other way. It was a moot point anyway. Hannah knew it would just feel mean to point that out now, especially after everything they'd done to get her here. To this point. He'd already won, though, hadn't he? Isn't that why she was standing in a train station, with the only 3 bags of possessions to her name slung on her pram? Right? Kate pressed, locking eyes with her. Right. She had to push hard to force the certainty of her answer into her tone. Today, we win. Kate sounded certain, but the truth was that she had tried to talk Hannah out of it for months. Not that Hannah didn't understand her fear. It was madness, really. She was standing here, ready to go with her baby, but she still didn't quite believe it herself. Going alone was a big step, but it was really something that she needed to do. She had to do it. Kate understood that now. After the last beating, it had been made crystal clear. Hannah didn't think he was going to stop. She had Ava to think about now. What if he hurt her too? What if next time he didn't stop? At the women's next meeting, Hannah bruised and sore, Kate stopped talking about trying the police again. Or trying to go to a local shelter, and Hannah didn't want to put Ava into that situation. When Kate had examined her, the boot prints left on the skin of her back added to the other marks and blemishes. Added together, her body read like a road map of her marriage. What Victor didn't realise at the time was that his beatings had made his wife a new friend. A secret friend. One he didn't know about, so she was allowed to keep her. A midwife friend, who didn't know him or his temper. Kate wasn't afraid of standing up to him, but his wife knew better than to try now. The time with Victor had almost taught her not to even hope for good things. Since that first appointment, the 2 women had been bonded. They'd both stood in that room, looked at the pregnancy in her belly, the bruises and scratches on the body surrounding it, and made a plan. How long has this been going on? Kate had asked, that fateful day, once Hannah was up on the table, the Doppler on her growing stomach. The room rang out with the sound of the baby's heartbeat, and the lie already primed to fall from her mouth didn't come. In fact, she swallowed it in favour of the truth. Perhaps it was that heartbeat that changed things, made her bolder somehow. The terrified mother-to-be on the table didn't know what it was, but listening to that strong, determined little piece of her and the strength of the heartbeat, she caved. Too long, she'd said to the midwife. They'd only met once before, when her pregnancy was confirmed. Victor had been there, the epitome of the loving husband. Too long. She'd never expected the woman to do anything. Anyone who met her husband was bowled over, and if he got a sniff of anything suspect, she'd never be able to go to her appointments alone again. It was only his work schedule that had saved her this time. He kept a close eye as it was, but he thought he was pretty safe. Arrogant with it, even. Once, he'd broken her finger by holding it too tight at a dinner for his company. He'd not liked the way she'd laughed at one of his colleagues' jokes. Too flirty, he'd said. Gripping her hand so tight her finger bones snapped. She'd had to sit through the rest of the dinner in agony, trying not to show how much pain she was in. He'd watched her the rest of the night, along with his colleague. She'd lain there on the table as Kate listened to the heartbeat, off in her own desperate thoughts. Kate had removed the Doppler and the heartbeat went quiet. I can help, Kate said to her, wiping the gel off her belly with one hand and holding her other tight. Let